Welcome back to Rocks and Rally, everyone. It's 2023 and it's been 1 year since my last video. Not sure what to tell you, editing kinda sucks. Anyway, last time I mentioned that 2022 was going to be an interesting year, full of updates to the Camaro and the Jeep. And I've kept that promise. I'm now dailying my Jeep 44 miles a day for work. Honestly, I'm a bit surprised myself. When I moved, I was able to road trip it halfway across the state before the dry rotted tires disintegrated and left me stranded a few times. Mostly fresh set later, and it hasn't let me down. But I used to daily my 3rd gen, so why the switch? Well, it all started when I was a young boy. My wife, Anna, was in her home country, burning through her savings on delicious street food, and I felt left out. Luckily, I found a listing for a dream car of mine. Go ahead and take a guess if you can figure out what kind of car this is. These are in pretty good shape. Much better than the last one I looked at. Numbers matching and caked in mud. Let's see the interiors. It's pretty good. The seats are in nice condition. Dash looks like it melted. Here's another one. Thankfully they got the ice to weigh it all down. A little bit of sanding and some, I don't know if this is Bondo or no, this is fiberglass repair. Are there any cracks in the bumper? So far, no. I decided on the non-melted one and tricked Anna into helping me load it. A long, beautiful, and nervous trip through the mountains, and my new project was home. All that's left is to unload on an icy driveway in the dark. Now that I have a car with a nose bigger than mine, what about the Camaro? After quickly losing hopes of the C3 running without ordering half a ton of missing parts, I may have decided to pull the engine and shoehorn it into the Camaro, after ordering a ton of parts. Now that I got the camera and a light, so you have some nice gauges, a 90s radio, like I said, smash mouth and all that. Steering wheel, it's looking alright. The leather needs to be cleaned up and there's some cracks and whatnot, but it's not bad. Horn, it's there. You got some aftermarket speakers to go with the radio. There ain't nothing much in here. Oh, we do have a battery. I don't think that one's gonna work, but at least it's there. Get a core charge. That's concerning. We do have keys, and it's got a little beeper thing. I don't know what it goes to, but it's also there. Got wiring, nice and hacked up. This is stuck, so I'm not gonna get that open. But I'm sure there's nothing in there I need to worry about. The body is, it's there. Someone had tried to do some body work on it, and in a few areas went all the way down to the fiberglass, which I'm told you're not supposed to do. This mirror must have gotten knocked off by an angry motorcyclist. Sanded it all the way down to the fiberglass here. The whole thing's gonna need some body work and paint, just like the Camaro. The nose is in pretty good shape, so that's good. It's not all bashed up and cracked. More sanding on this side. Some fiberglass repair here. Door is damaged here. which is upsetting. And then all the way back. This window is in good condition, but the weather sealer is not. Got gassage. Alright, let's get to what you're all waiting for. So there's the new project. I am very excited for it. I know all about how lame these Corvettes are. Frames sloppy, they're heavy, engine is underpowered, transmissions are slush boxes. I know. I don't care. I'm just trying to get this running and see if it will run, if it'll drive, if it has brakes. Found some pretty neat stuff. Despite there being some mice or some sort of varmint in here, these two seem to have survived. This one is the original jack instructions. See the date here, March 7th, 1977. And this is a wheel alignment receipt from 2004. I paid $36. And this I haven't opened yet. Let's see what it is. Oh, this is the other half of the instructions. No, not really. It's part of it though. There's a missing piece somewhere. I also found a replacement gasket for the door handle, a bunch of electrical tape, a couple wheel lugs, a whole handful of taps, about every different size. Look to be in pretty good condition too. That's pretty nice. I needed a set of those. A couple screwdrivers, a bunch of metal doodads. This looks to be a pickup for like a distro or something that's shaped weird. Got one of these things, which I'm gonna need. Oh, and then my wife's car got a little indecisive. This wheel wants to go that way. This wheel wants to go that way. I'm beginning to see the problem here. Which involved a short hike back to the house. Screws holding mirrors on and tape holding paint on, but I've never seen using wood to plug a vacuum line. Just plug that back up. That seemed like a good idea. There you go. They obviously had the right idea. Alright, here's a fun game. Let's count how many screwed up wires we have in this engine bay. Here's a clue. It's a lot.
Got this big long one that has been cut, grafted, and then cut, and then grafted again. Each time just more lazy than the last. We have this connector here, which is cut, grafted, and then cut again. We have this one down here, cut, and then grafted, and then it looks like it was chewed off. And then we have this connector right here, which is broken. And then over here, we have this big long yellow one, and then big long orange one with an actual connector on the end of it. We have this little tiny one, red. We have a big long red one. I don't know, is that green? It's a green one. fancy. Then we have an orange one that I don't even know how to describe this. And we got a loose plug down here. Right here we have some sort of vacuum hose. This side we have the starter wires, which were hacked up and then just wrapped in tape. We got this plug down here. Not sure what that goes to. Oh yeah, we have a connector here that's been cut.
And that's just here forward. It's not even talking about the rest of it. So after realizing I hit a dead end, I went ahead and removed the mouse-infested heater box, which did give me a lot of room to regret my life choices. Then I went ahead and fixed the wiring for the starter and installed the starter and hooked up the battery, and nothing happened, of course. So I took a look at the fuse box under the dash, and it's just as much of a mess as the wiring in the engine bay. Let me show you. So, if you can see, there's wires everywhere that are just kind of cut and whatnot. I can't tell what goes where. I did have a couple floorboard lights pop on when I connected to my battery, but of course those popped a fuse or something as soon as I tried to hit the switch. So, kind of at another dead end. I've realized that this wiring harness is a complete loss. There's no way I'm going to spend all the time trying to fix every single bit of wiring that's mashed up. So what I'm going to do, I did have some hopes of trying to get this thing running and driving, try and take it for a test drive, but that wouldn't happen without basically a brand new harness. What I can do is figure out the minimum amount of wiring this thing will need, at least turn over, fire off, make the bangs and pops. So that's what we're going to do. And then, once this thing's running, I can call it Revival Complete. No, I can't call it that. On a positive note, Albuquerque has one of the coolest racing museums I've ever seen. This is the Unser Family Racing Museum. Family famous for dominating Pikes Peak,
Bobby Unser in Novi number 6.
blitzing the Indy 500, running pockets at dirt track racing, and everything in between.
I don't know if he got on the brakes or what, but it swapped ends and he hit the wall. It was not a hard hit, not a lot of damage, but the Novi was out.
The Hotel Tropicana Special number 6.
On the third qualifying day, he was the fastest for the day. I think he was the 12th fastest in the field.
1963 was the first year for a few drivers at the Speedway.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
It was the same year that Bobby Unser was a rookie at the Speedway, and so we were first-timers here. I remember the green flag dropped, and we ran a couple of laps, and I was,
wasn't very reliable. There wasn't much chance of me ever finishing the race with the Novi. But it was good for me because it was a crowd favorite. And when I went fast in the Novi, I immediately became very famous in the world.
I think Bobby driving.
I would love to show you the whole museum, but I can't compare to the amazing environment of this place. Please come check it out if you're in the area, if you love vintage racing, engineering, history, or just want a cool afternoon. I'll be coming back here. There was no way I'll be able to take everything in just one trip.
$400. I need that for my cars. Some nice replicas though.
In my next video, I'll fully explain the challenges swapping the C3 350 into a V6 5-speed Camaro, and what I have cooking in my head for the C3. Thank you for watching, and for Ken Vlog, let's make this one hell of a year.